Hey everybody, Gears here, and this is just about day's end, but I still have a couple hours in front of me, but this is pretty much a wrap-up video at this point. Not much done today. I wound up chin-wagging with Guy Vardaman over at Guy's Workshop for an hour, and last few months he's been really excited about this project, so we've known each other for years through the R2 builders, but he's really taken a shine to this one. So having someone to chat with through the day is certainly nice, but we wound up going for like an hour or something, so not a lot of work got done, except for these two guys. This is the second, this is the first. This one would have been good, except I forgot to put a rod in it, so if I tap that against the table, it's going to break. This has an aluminum tube in it. I should have said tube, rod, whatever, and just about no matter how hard I hit this on the table, it won't break. I'm not going to do it right now. But certainly if I went in here and bent it with two hands, this thing would crumple in half and then snap. However, it's just going to break. Problem with this one is that there must have been a contaminant in the mold because this whole area is really sticky. Or there was just a lot more of the tint that collected in that area and it didn't cure properly. Maybe if I dip it like a wick in candle wax, the way you build that up, I just put a single coat on, but it's good for a prototype. And I had some yellow tint laying around, so I figured why not. Otherwise, this one would be just about perfect, and I learned one lesson that I hadn't considered initially, and that there's just the slightest bit of a bend in the finger up there. So you can see how the left side of there is a very straight line, whereas this right side is not quite so much. And then here again, the right side now is a straight line while that one bows. Over here, the lines on both sides angle out from the very end. So what happened was, while this mold was sitting, it was resting on itself for its own pressure, so essentially it had a little bit of kink in it at the bottom where, tacky. Yeah, just a few inches up there from the bottom, it was just getting that little bit of bend to it. So in this case, I took the Dixie cups, and I can show you now, and I suspended them in a 4-inch PVC tube. Voila. So that second one, when I cast it, it was sitting free in here with nothing to press up against it. So, and if the mold was out of here, yeah, so I imagine you can see how the thing would want to bend to the side with all this weight sitting on it. So definitely this is a really nice coincidence too, I gotta tell you. That is just perfect. So that allows the resin to expand in all directions that it wants evenly with nothing to hold it back. So that was a good thing today. What else? This is the last of my resin, unfortunately. So the last 75 grams, I poured up one last batch of R4 panels, and this is a copy of a Jupiter Electronics Cylon Eye manifold, I guess it would call, for the LEDs. One of the things the guy suggested to me was that when you have a mold, for long-term or even short-term storage, leave a last pour inside the silicone. That way, when you go to store it, it could, let's say you're going to put it away for a few days and it winds up being months or years. You come back, you're going to have a perfectly formed mold still sitting there, as opposed to one that may have sagged or bent over, depending on the shape of the mold, of course. So, yeah, definitely great idea. So these are just going to stay there until the next time I pour some, and I do have to get a fresh gallon, so that'll be a few weeks as is. So, genius idea. But I suppose it's probably common sense as well at the same time. The other thing I got done today was spraying this guy with a whole bunch of rocket release, and you can see how shiny that is. The problem I realized as I was already spraying was that I was getting kickback all over my rockers. It's good that any landed over here, but there could be some down here, and it formed a huge cloud in this whole area. So I have to consider anything in this area that's exposed to be contaminated with rocket release. And if I'm going to be painting it with urethane, then I'm going to need to wash all this stuff off with soap and make sure everything's clean. I suppose I should do that anyway, but we'll see. And my priorities. So, yeah, getting this guy done has been certainly priority, and the long-term goal was to have my car ready for R2LA. That is coming this Friday in the real world, and Saturday rather, and there's no chance. So I'm not going to have the car reassembled and painted. I'm not going to have this ready. What I can have ready is maybe one or two of these, which will give me the practice for that big deal out there in the driveway. So I'm going to focus on getting a couple of these guys done this week. Hopefully at least 2 for Saturday. Right now it's Monday. I'd like to get at least the mold for this done, if not a casting off of it. And then at home I'm working on my R2-D2 as well, trying to get the legs and the feet all set on him. So yeah, I think that's about it looking around. Oh yeah, my favorite task. Cutting chop mat. 1 ounce, it wasn't too bad for the scissors, but it definitely gives your thumb a workout with all that back and forth. 25 square feet, 5 yards. No, sorry, 15 square feet for 5 yards. And hopefully, well, this will definitely be enough for a little while. I still have an entire another bag plus some change left over from a long time ago. So I should have enough of this. I've got my fresh 5-gallon fiberglass over there, and hoping to gosh that the 60-degree nights haven't been too cold for it, because it stinks too bad to go in the garage. And nothing on the car today. So, oh yeah, I gotta tape all this off to make sure that I don't spill any fiberglass around here. That would be bad. That would be so bad. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, I got some plastic tarp down there, mask all this off, and tally ho. Alright, thanks for watching everybody, I really appreciate it. See ya.